President of the United States. Honestly, I think this is the first radio show I've done as president, if you want to know the truth. And you're listening to the Rick and Bubba Show.
It is 35 minutes now past the hour. Rick and Bubba from the Broadcast Plaza and Teleport, thank you for being with us. The new book is called Triggered, How the Left Thrives on Hate and Wants to Silence Those of Us That Dare Have an Opposing Opinion or View. Donald Trump Jr. is the author, and he joins us now. Don Jr., welcome to Rick and Bubba.
Good to be with you guys. How you doing?
Well, you know what? We're fired up. We're ready to go, and we're stoked. Glad that you've come. We're lucky enough to be across most of the country, but glad you're in our hometown, and looking forward to the people of Birmingham getting out and seeing you in person tonight at Books A Million, 7 to 8:30 local time, to get a copy of the book and to shake your hand.
Well, I'm looking forward to it as well, guys. It's going to be a fun event.
You know, we're glad to have you on. This is Bubba, Don, and you know, other than us being in a ladder stand this morning hunting deer, this is where we'd rather be. You're in the news today.
Yep.
You tweeted the whistleblower's name. Tell us a little bit about that. Why did you go ahead and take that step?
Well, first of all, I would much rather be in a tree stand right now during the rut than I would be doing a book tour, but my publisher had a little something to say about that, so I lost that battle.
Knowing you and Eric and how you love to hunt, how did you let a book tour be now?
I know, dude. It was so ridiculous. When I got married, it was the same thing, like November 12th. I'm like, I know, it's brutal. You know, I keep doing that, but it's okay. We'll get at it after the book tour. But no, listen, the reality is this, and that's what's funny is, I mean, that's exactly why I wrote the book, the hypocrisy of the media. I literally tweeted out, I quote tweeted an article from Breitbart that had the guy's name allegedly in the title of the article. So I literally responded to an article that was out. The guy's name was on Drudge a few days ago, and even Drudge was like, Don Jr. out some. I'm like, it was literally, I saw it on your webpage a few days ago. It was on Real Clear Politics, but because I did it, you know, that's the end. They lose their minds because, you know, now you realize, now that, you know, the name is supposed, I mean, and I assume based on the reaction that is the actual whistleblower, because the outrage is so extreme, so nuts. So I quote tweet an article that has the guy's name in the title of the article that's already out. And it's like, I outed him. I'm like, I don't know, like probably millions of people have literally seen this stuff. It's been out for a few days. This is no surprise. But because I do it, it creates outrage. And, you know, there's a big theory, this thesis of the book, which is, you know, talking about the media bias and all of that nonsense. But, you know, the reality is they don't want they don't want the whistleblower's name out there, because now you can say, oh, he's in that picture with, you know, Susan Rice and all the people when they're crying when Trump visited Obama, a couple days after he won. You know, his lawyer's the guy saying, you know, in January of 17, the coup has started. Impeachment will be next. I mean, does anyone believe that this is not a setup? I mean, this guy worked for Brennan, apparently. Like, you know, he was John Brennan's confidant and aide. Like, anyone believe after the Russia hoax, after 3 years of being sold that garbage, that this is anything but a continuation of the same garbage? I mean, what a joke. And, you know, and they'll keep selling it, and they will, because the mainstream media will be the marketing wing of the DNC. And, you know, obviously Trump's terrible. And, you know, that's the environment in which we live today. And that was a big part of why I wrote the book. I mean, I got to see it from a campaign perspective, you know, being a part of the greatest political upset in history. I then got to see it being the number 2 target, you know, of the Mueller hoax, you know, which everyone knew was a hoax. And frankly, you know, it's why I dedicate the book to the deplorables, because those guys were the ones that stuck with us. They stuck with us in 16. That was a little bit of a troll too, but they stuck with us in 16, and they stuck with us through all that. They never wavered. They never doubted. You know, and, you know, everyone sees that it's just the same thing going on again. They'll never let him do his job. They'll do whatever they can to resist. They won't pass things like the USMCA, which has been sitting on Nancy Pelosi's desk and would pass with bipartisan colors in about 30 seconds, because that would be good for Americans, but it would also give Trump a win. So we can't do what's good for Americans if Trump also gets a win, because they said they could never be renegotiated. You know, renegotiating the failed NAFTA deal that's done more about sending jobs abroad than any legislation probably in American history. You know, so that's the environment in which we live. And I said, you know, I got a front row seat to all of that. You know, maybe now it's time to write the book.
Don, we're in historically good economic times. Why do you think there's so many people who are dead set and have gone to such lengths to get your father out of office?
Because we're just, we're in an age of, outrage. We're in an age where the Democrat Party is literally the party of socialism and communism. I mean, I write about that in the book because my mother escaped communism, so I have strong theories on this stuff. I got to grow up and spend summers in communist Czechoslovakia. I waited in those bread lines. I have a grandmother that has been through, as she calls me in tears, seeing CNN over there because they don't have a conservative outlet. We talk about these things. So, in this age of like PC craziness where, you could be woke today, guys. Bubba, you could be woke today, but by tomorrow you're alt-right because the goalposts are never stopping. They're never moving. Right. Like, sure, trans women in sports. What could go wrong? I mean, and make no mistake, I'm pretty libertarian, but like when I see like a guy turns into a girl and becomes a UFC fighter in the women's division and fractures a woman's skull in the first round, I'm like, guys, like what? Like, where do we draw the line? Like, I live and let live. Honestly, like I'm pretty, open-minded to a lot. I don't really care what you do. Like, happy people are productive people in your own lives. But when you start doing that, when you start when you start winning every weightlifting record for women, magically, every record's been broken and they're all by the trans division. Like, come on, guys. Like, when do we stop? Like, when do we say, like, enough is enough?
We just kind of trample over that.
Feminist.
We just trample over that XXXY chromosome thing, I mean, we just forgot about that. Didn't we all learn that in school very early?
But to your point.
No. You're obviously a terrible person, Bubba. I mean, you can't,
I am.
Say that.
We never see what's happened now, and we talked about this back on Where Life Begins. I said at one time, we all might have had different thoughts about where life begins, but I thought we all agreed it began after birth. And then all of a sudden that's become a debate. So these are odd times where things that at one time were not even no one even wanted to argue about these things because they were so straightforward. But that day is over.
But it's also like technology, though. I mean, look at 10 years ago versus today. It grows so exponentially that I feel like the crazy is just like again, you could be woke today and like you're a fascist tomorrow according to them. I mean, if you can't figure out where they are, and like it's almost like honestly, guys, there's times I'm like. I turn on and I see that, the latest outrage of the moment, which, every 30 seconds there's a new thing to be outraged about. But I see it, I'm like, okay, like, is this real or are they just screwing with me? Like, is this real or is it April Fool's? Like, I literally.
No, you can't.
Sadly, it's real most of the time.
But like, I'm not sure a lot of the time. Like, I can't tell if they're kidding or serious anymore.
Do you think one of the reasons, to Bubba's point, why your family is so vilified by the left is that you've had the audacity to use these things to fight back?
Oh, 100%. I mean, listen, I think what's funny, and in the book I talk about that a lot, which is like, it probably took, I'm into the hunting and the fishing and competitive shooting. I think it's why I've spent so much time in sort of your part of the world and the country, and I have real friends there. It's not like, here's my token friend from the Iowa caucuses. I met him 3 hours ago, and we're good buddies. It's like, no, that's the guy I've been sleeping on his couch in deer stands. He's with the Iowa State Police. He's a good friend, and like, it's just a difference. So, it took me 41 years to realize I was a lot more like my dad than anyone would have ever thought. And when you back us in the corner and you basically say, hey, we're throwing you guys in jail, we're going to try to destroy you, it's like we fight back. And that's something Republicans haven't done for far too long. Republicans, we turn the other cheek. And what has it done for us for 50 years? Nothing. We've ceded ground to the left on everything. We've lost ground, so we have our principles and we have our, it's like, great, what good are principles if you're not willing to stand for them? Like, I'm sick of getting lectured by some of these principled Republicans that are, it's like, your principles are so wonderful. Like, but the second someone writes a bad story about you and calls you a mean name, you fold like a rug. Like, give me a break, guys. Like, save me the sanctimony.
Well, it also angers the voters who go out and work hard to put these people in and to give them majorities so they will make change.
And they don't do it.
And then they get in and don't do it.
Yeah.
And
no, well, we've seen that. I mean, how many guys, Donald, will you campaign for me? I'll run 12 ads. I'm going to vote with you on this issue. Yada. No, I'm not going to vote with you on that. Well, why? Do you not believe in it? Well, no, I believe in it, but Politico's going to write a mean article about me. I can't have that. Like, I'm like, come on, grow a pair,
I don't know that you've heard this yet. I know we got
to share this.
We got to share this with you, and if you guys and I believe it could be huge for the 2020 campaign. We had a listener actually send us a song about voting for Trump again, and it really has a snappy little feel. I listen to this.
Vote Trump. Yeah, baby, vote Trump.
Trump. And then we shout, Trump, 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 Trump.
Vote Trump. Yeah, baby, vote Trump. Yeah, baby, vote Trump.
How you like that?
I should play that as like my entrance theme song today going into this.
Good. We need to get you a copy of it. I think your dad would like it too. It's really catchy. Now it's what we call raw.
Hey,
It's a little rough, but I like it. I like the general motif.
all right, Don Jr., I know we got to be good stewards of your time. Could we get a liner from you? You heard the one that your dad actually did one for us as the president of the United States of America on the Rick and Bubba show, and only he would do that, and he did. Could you just give us, hey, this is Don Jr., and you're listening to the Rick and Bubba show?
Hey, guys, this is Donald Trump Jr., and you are listening to the Rick and Bubba show.
Well done. Hey, tonight, Brookwood Village, Books A Million. The book is Triggered. We've got the link at rickandbubba.com. You'll also have some great moments in there as Don Jr. talks about his relationship with his dad, growing up, some of the lessons that your dad taught you, which I laughed really hard, especially the one when he asked why he would pay you more when you agreed to work for that salary. He's like, why would I pay you more?
Yeah, that was a brutal one. But it drove the point home. After like 3 months of slaving away, I was like, oh, crap. Like, I tried renegotiating retroactively. That failed miserably. But, it was a good lesson.
So enjoy your time in Birmingham. I know you have a huge crowd come out tonight. And tonight you'll meet the people that appreciate what your family's doing for the country.
Well, I'm looking forward to being there, and it'll be definitely a welcome break from New York and The View.
Yeah. Donald Trump
none
Jr.
of us can get enough of Joy Behar, I'll tell you that.
Boy, you ever heard anybody be more misnamed? Joy.
Yeah, she's a very reasonable individual.
Donald Trump Jr., the book is Triggered. Tonight, meet him in Birmingham, 7 to 8:30, Books A Million, Brookwood Village. We'll be back.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.